Good evening, everybody. I'm Todd Standing, doing my very happy to be here doing my Wednesday live show, as I do many Wednesdays. Uh, Lots of news, I guess. Today, as always, I'm going since you guys are so awesome and I always have so much fun doing this show. I'm going to announce what's going on for the first time. I'm gonna turn on this chat here. Hopefully, the chat will work a little better than it has been, and it's not. Anyways, hey Frank, hey Joey. So before we get to the questions, hey Kyla, what's happening right now is so Discovering Bigfoot Part 2 will be done after I do California Bigfoot. So in case you don't know or you weren't around for it, so there's a B Ash was asking when will Part 2 be on Netflix. The first thing that'll be out is California Bigfoot. I went to California, if you all remember, and I worked with Claudia Ackley. And what exactly happened in California was, so I went down there to start the lawsuit with Claudia, but with the lawsuit, the goal of the lawsuit is to take fish, is to, I verse fish and wildlife. I claim Sasquatch are real. I will prove they're real, and therefore say that fish and wildlife are derelict in their duty for not acknowledging the species. When I win that court case with the abundance of overwhelming evidence that I have proving that Sasquatch is real, I have to take them out and show them a Sasquatch in California. So what did I need to do in California? I needed to know where there was Sasquatch, and I needed to have a place to take fish and wildlife out to go do that. So, hello Amanda and Cappy McCappy. How's it going, guys? 1 second. I'll answer your questions. So I went to California using all my resources to stand on the shoulders of the only way I can get success is stand on the shoulders of other people that have been getting success. So I went to this lake area that was just outside of Yosemite Park and couldn't see the Sasquatch being there. Didn't really see any success, and I had two more options. Option number two was a Native American man, and there's Sasquatch there, and I'd been mentoring and working with him and cooperating with him for a couple years, and I got boots on the ground, and everything he said was absolutely true. So I got some very mediocre footage of a limping Sasquatch. Some incredible stuff happened there. That'll be the first documentary that we do. So Cappy McCappy says, "Hey Todd, did you happen to get my email?" I don't know. What's your actual name, Cappy McCappy? So tell me that. I'll find it down here, and make sure do it through Amanda. Amanda will make sure I get that email. I've been talking to lots of people this week. Really been enjoying my time talking. Amanda sends me emails. Amanda sent me a gentleman from Washington I spoke to Sean this week, Amanda, just in case you didn't know, and quite a few other people, an Arizona tracker, a woman from Oregon, just tons of stuff going on. A new couple from Washington. So it's unreal the amount of resources that I have with people that are sending me really cool stuff. It's very exciting, and thank you so much to everybody who's doing that. So I'll get nothing new unsubscribed. Okay, bye, Catal. Nothing new. Of course, there's lots new. Oh, I have I didn't put up the video yet with the trail cam that I want to do. I was supposed to do that on Saturday, and I've just been freaking hella overwhelmed. So, very an amazing conversation I had with I'm gonna call him a First Nations man because he's from Canada. He's got some interesting stuff. Amanda, what did you do with the photographs that I sent you? So we've got some still camera stuff, and I had a nice 40-minute conversation that I'm gonna put up on YouTube right away. And it's very cool. The photographs are very interesting. They very well could be Sasquatch. He has an amazing story to tell along with it, and we had a wonderful conversation. And I made a new friend. So I'm honored and privileged enough to make really cool new friends every week. And yeah, so hey Caroline from Van Island, when you get in here, oh Caroline, let me tell you, whew, Vancouver Island is calling me. I've had two conversations this week with people from Vancouver. Wow, that was really weird. That was like sorry about that. I don't know what the hell's going on now. YouTube's got some other issue. This is clearly some kind of YouTube issue. But anyways, talking about Vancouver Island. My problem with going to Vancouver Island is it's just so much. My gosh, it's so much work to get out there and start over. So anyways, I'd love to go out there. I'm gonna do some stuff. I've been actually talking with my colleagues about touring a having a discovering Bigfoot seminar, and I'm very interested in doing that. So, oh my God, how's this? Look at this dumbass. Look at this twit. Jim, how's your sister's career in movie makeup? Going good? You seriously still believe that crap? Like, wow. Why don't you take your head out of your butt? Let's are you also a subscriber to the fact that my dad dated a woman who owned a fabric store? Huh? Are we doing that still? Like holy crap, some people are so freaking stupid. Still still running over the old garbage, so I'm the man that takes people out and shows them a Sasquatch, dumbass. Right? So just showed Jeff Meldrum, John Bernagel, had a live interaction, Survivor Man, got a top of the head of a Sasquatch. No big deal, don't worry about it. So still going back to that. So anyways, what a retarded, stupid thing to say. Hello, I hope you are well. What do you think about Sasquatch feel about other animals? Are they curious, scared of bears, skunk, mountain lions, for example? This is from Galaxy Star J. The Sasquatch are the apex species. The apex species. Just as an example, let's say a bear kills in a properly functioning ecosystem in in North America, like all through the Pacific Northwest. What happens is if a bear kills, let's say a bear kills a moose, he eats as much as he can quickly because when the wolves come, the pack will run him off. And the pack of wolves will then eat. Or if the wolves kill, the wolves eat. But what the wolves will do immediately is they'll gorge themselves. It's only the alpha wolves that are out there. They'll gorge themselves, then they'll leave the kill and go back to the pack and regurgitate half the food that they ate to the pack. While they leave the kill, the mountain lions and the bears go in and take over, and the crows and the ravens. So this is the cycle of life. That cycle does not exist with Sasquatch. A Sasquatch will kill an elk or a deer, and everything will stay away from it. It belongs to the Sasquatch. Whatever a bear or a deer or even wolves will get is what the Sasquatch allows. The Sasquatch are so high up as like the apex predators, the known apex predators are wolves if they exist. I know they're having a really hard time surviving because they kill cows and farmers will kill them for that. They're considered pests a lot of places. Anyways, long story short, the Sasquatch fear nothing. The Sasquatch own. I've been around in a situation where a young Sasquatch, probably 14 years old, had a Sasquatch habitat. Come on, okay, we're still good. Bears and mountain lions are owned by wolves because they're a pack. An individual wolf will lose a fight to a cougar or a bear, but the pack will kick a bear's ass. And same thing with a mountain lion; they'll just smoke it. So, but that's not the case with Sasquatch. They are infinitely superior. They are high up apex species. Even a lone Sasquatch, they have no fear. In fact, bear, deer, and mountain lions and wolves will grow up knowing the Sasquatch exists and be terrified of them. They'll have their asses handed to them. I saw a coyote do something that ticked off a Sasquatch in Montana once. This is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. A coyote, they fly. Like this was a big male coyote. They're super fast. If you ever saw them running, it's brilliant the way they run through a wilderness. And a Sasquatch chased that thing and was like kicking its ass. He was right on its butt, whacking it. He was like outrunning the freaking coyote, and that thing was squealing. And that coyote learned you don't mess with a Sasquatch. Whatever it was doing, whether it was messing around with his food, it just the coyote did. Coyotes can be a little bit of a pain in the ass, right? And that Sasquatch and it decided to teach that coyote a lesson, man. And I tell you, I saw that it was unreal. The situation was totally amazing. So they are far up apex species. Cryptozoologist investigator says, "Well, I do support your endeavor. I doubt you'll win the court case because people aren't going to take it seriously." Well, you have to understand too, cryptozoologist Jeff Meldrum will testify, right? Jimmy Chilcott, a fingerprint expert, will testify. I'll have a geneticist from Paleo DNA will testify. So I can't see how they couldn't take me seriously as long as they let me present my evidence. And I've got new angles now to get involved to do it properly because I found out, law isn't, it's not like you see on TV. It's very different and you need precedents and all this crap. But I just can't see how I could lose because I'm accusing them of being derelict. Fish and Wildlife, their mission statement is that they are stewards of all wildlife within their jurisdictions. That's what they do. That's what they're supposed to be doing. If there's a wildlife species and they're not acknowledging it, they're derelict in their duty. It's like a police officer not, arresting somebody for committing a crime just because the crime is new. Well, when there's a new crime, there has to be new laws implemented to, and it's the same thing with Sasquatch. So, and I really believe in it, and I'm just gonna do the best I can with that. So, a lot of people don't take me seriously. A lot of people, don't believe that Sasquatch can exist. And anyways, so there's Cappy McCappy telling me his name. Thank you. Called me Cappy. Okay, so David, and you sent me an email, so we'll go through that. So yeah, Sean is very cool. Thanks for that, Amanda. Really fun talking to Sean. I'll mention this too. This guy Sean from Washington, he's got some really cool stuff going on, and I recorded his conversation, and so I'm going to make that a Saturday video probably in a couple weeks. And he's got some very interesting evidence as well. His uh, his encounters with Sasquatch are brilliant and outstanding. So I was very, very pleased. All it hides in remote wilderness. Yes, they do hide in the remote wilderness. Hello from South Carolina. Good day. So, Cappy, Amanda's saying, I don't remember seeing it. When did you send it? So just resend it. Just go to even bigfootencounter@gmail.com, Cappy. So don't worry about I don't mind these people that have these interesting perspectives, but there's just stupid things that I'm really not interested in talking about. My dad did not date a woman who owned a fabric store. Like, how do I even? I remember Jeff Meldrum, when he first started working with me, he had to go through all this stuff. He went through everything, because if in fact one of these precipitates truth, he couldn't work with me. So he investigated, all this stuff and all these ridiculous, stupid rumors. There's so many of them. They're so dumb. I can't even remember them. Like, can you imagine somebody claiming that since my dad dated a woman who owned a fabric store, I'm a hoaxer? What if my dad didn't? But like, it's a preposterous statement. But what if he did? So what? Now I can get fabric, special fabric. What the hell does that have to do with anything? So these things are just so ridiculous and preposterous. And yeah, it's just like that. Like of course my sister is not. Is your sister a special effects makeup artist? Like, what the hell? Come on. So they know that Sasquatch is real. I think they're denying it. You know what, Becky? You're so right. I'll tell you, this is one thing. This is probably the most important thing I learned from these court cases. If Fish and Wildlife ever said Sasquatch is not real, now I can sue them because they are. I say Sasquatch is real, and they are defamating my character. And I can go to court, prove Sasquatch is real. But you know what they all say? And I'm talking Montana, Washington, British Columbia, Alberta, all the fish and wildlife officers, and all officially, when you ask them, is Sasquatch real? You know what they say? No comment. Do you know why? Because they're prepared. Because they know damn well, if they ever tell me or anybody else officially Sasquatch do not exist, then I show up and go, I say they do. Now we go to trial because we're butting heads. If they say no comment, no harm done, and I can't sue them. So do you understand how important that is? And I've been hearing that for a decade. I'm always going, well, what about this for Sasquatch? What about that? Do you think you put it to them? Are Sasquatch real? No comment. They're trained. They knew this was coming. So blown away, right? And you better damn well believe. A lot of these officers look at me and they go, Sasquatch isn't real. I go, is that your officially? Goes into the officials and it comes down the pipeline. Officially, they always say no comment. Believe me, they want to tell me you're full of crap. There's no Sasquatch, and I just want you to officially say that because now we have a court case. Now we have a trial. Now I make a living taking people out on Sasquatch expeditions, filming Sasquatch and putting it in documentaries. And that's what I do. So if this is my livelihood, literally, this is what I do. You're meeting Todd Standing, and thanks to you people, I am a full-time Sasquatch researcher. That's my job. I do Sasquatch, I documentaries, videos, expeditions, and through your donations, I'm a full-time Sasquatch researcher. That's amazing. My YouTube videos make a little bit of money. It all adds up to that's fantastic, and I'm very proud of that. But they would literally be affecting my livelihood, and I could sue them for that. And all they have to do is say Sasquatch does not exist, and they won't do it. Can you believe that? So totally crazy, huh? So Amanda, any issues with the live stream? Live stream's doing okay right now. Something new is popping up. I apologize. Be patient, guys. You know what? I love talking to you guys. I really do. I I really enjoy these live streams. If there's a little break or something, just be patient. I'll pop back on. I really apologize for that. The, I guess kind of the truth is I don't know why the live stream isn't working. It's just stupid, and I'm really sorry about that. So JJ Martinez, much stronger support from northern New Mexico. Keep up the great work. In fact, isn't that crazy that there's all this stuff in? Sorry, the Apache, I believe, are the some of the Native Americans in New Mexico, and they have Sasquatch out there. Like there's a, I talk about him once in a while. David Kreider, I believe that's where he's out of, is New Mexico, and they have Sasquatch down there. So I believe them, and New Mexico is crazy habitat. So I just think that's so cool that they very well. And you know what? If the again, I believe it's the Apache or maybe the Navajo. They say I've talked to people from a reserve down there, and they told me Sasquatch are real. We have a name. We call the Sasquatch yada yada, whatever the name is. I can't remember. I apologize. But if the native people say it's real, then have a good day. So I trust them. They're the indigenous people. They know they've been there for thousands of years. Notice all the disappearances in the missing 401 cases are in areas of dense wilderness and flat states. Like, yeah, dense wilderness. I definitely agree with that. Really, really dense wilderness. So I'm back. Hey, SoCal. Is SoCal Ninja out here? It's buffering and stopped. Yeah, we're doing good now. Amanda, YouTube is protecting. Yeah, maybe. Love your work, Todd. Thanks, Saucy Tart. By the way, your beard looks good on you. Thanks. Yeah. So we're back. Good day, Pingfold. What'd you miss? I don't know. You can watch the video from the beginning a little later. Coming through now. Yeah, much better. So Galaxy Starjay, another question. Does Sasquatch get cold or hot? Maybe they're not out much in the winter. Isn't Canada supposed to be cold in negative temperatures? Maybe they retreat into an area. It's yeah. So galaxies, of course, they'll get cold or hot. They overheat. Maybe not coming out when it's really really super hot because it gets hot up in the north in Canada. But of course, it gets very cold, and I think they go into caves in the wintertime and eat meatsicles and cuddle up and stay warm together. But so Sasquatch are fallen angels slash human slash animal hybrids, aka Nephilim. Thank you for your opinion. The feeding is coming through, but the voice is not working. Okay. So sorry, I'm way about you. There's like hundreds of dozens of questions here. Hey, Emperor Z, the feed is working. Excellent. Don't pay attention to those fools, Todd. You're the thanks, Gilbert. And sorry, I got a little upset. For me, I've been dealing with this stuff for so long, and I did radio shows back in 2000, from like 2008 to 2011, a long time ago, right? I'm getting old. And they always ask those questions every time, and I'd always have to defend it and talk about it. And they just Discovery Channel was supposed to do a TV show with me years and years ago. They were going to do this original series, and they kept saying, what about this Sisters of Special Effects makeup artist crap? So like, how do you prove someone's not something? So I talked to my sister. They called her and talked to her. She's like, I don't do that. I never had anything to do with special effects makeup, obviously. Never went to any school. Nothing. She has nothing to do with that. So I gave them 7 years of the past 7 years of her work. And this is back in, let's say, 2011, maybe 2012. So all the way back to, 2004. All her T4s, every work she's ever done, all the information you can give about her, even bank account statements. We worked hard. It took us a month to put all this together. And I gave it to Discovery Channel, and they come back and go, well, we think we have an accusation from 2002. I'm like, I wasn't even doing this in 2002. Well, could we have like 4 more years? And I just told them to kiss my ass. I'm like, for God's sake, I gave you 7 years of the woman's life, and we busted our ass for a couple months to put all this together, spent a lot of money and time, and took it very seriously to prove she was not something. And then they wanted, 4 more years. I was just like, kiss my ass, you morons. And I literally told them, I said, kiss my ass. I worked for a month on this to prove, how do you prove you didn't do something? It's just so, anyways. Libby, Montana. Oh, man. Ryan Curtis. Dude, there's Sasquatch in Libby, Montana. I got a history. We got to talk sometime, my friend. Woo. Man, I'm biting my tongue here because I want to talk about Libby, Montana. But I can't because I promised some people that I wouldn't. But yeah, Libby, Montana, boy. Woo. Wow, I got some memories of that place. So, thought you guys would like that Cephisaurus. Talking to Amanda. Oh, there's SoCal Forest Ninja. What are your expectations from your future expeditions? I can't tell you that because I'm not in charge of my expeditions. I go out there, and there's Sasquatch out there, but they're my teachers. And I was doing this like on Survivor Man and other TV shows, especially Survivor Man though. They want to know the plot before they do the story. So Survivor Man, as an example, he doesn't know what's going to happen either. He just has to go out there and survive. He has no idea what's going to happen. But he writes out a plot It's just crap, right? It doesn't happen that way. Of course, it's not going to happen. They know that, but they just want to plot. So I was doing that, just writing some ideas that I had, and I have ideas to do things. I just want to get more backcountry and spend more time alone out with them. I didn't do that hardly at all this year, only a week. But the Sasquatch are my teachers, and they make the decisions. And whatever's going on in the wilderness, like in Montana, we got our research got destroyed because they started logging this whole big section of forest, and it took the Sasquatch away from us for some reason that we don't know. But it's just not in my hands. You know what's going on in the wilderness? An avalanche, a mountain falls down, an elk herd gets pushed out. Just so many things can happen. But I've been having pretty much decently, I'd say, rephrase, exceptionally great success in radium. So I'm going back there, and I don't really have expectations. I just want to keep learning. I just want to keep. It's a discovery, right? So I just want to keep discovering Bigfoot. So, and that's the name of the film, right? And maybe that's cheesy, but I just want to keep moving forward with discovery. I want to go to a new level. I am ambitious. Don't think I'm not ambitious and I'm just, whatever. I go out there with all these brilliant men and women I get to work with, and we put our heads together and we think, we plan, and we have new ideas and we try new things. And yeah, I love people that push me to do things that are very uncomfortable, like the people that I met in Nia Bay in Washington. They were, the lady there is very much she's very much into spirituality and really cool stuff that's not scientifically accepted, and she was pushing my paradigm, telling me how the Sasquatch can be invisible, and I didn't like that. But I was very attracted to go out there and meet her, and especially Larry, amazing man. And they're a bit of, not extreme, but they're not even extreme, they're just amazing people, and they really taught me a lot. And I was very glad that I went out there and pushed my paradigm. A lot of PhDs, that's their problem, is it's just, if it's not in their book and it hasn't done 20 years of research and repeatable data and yada yada, they're not interested in it. And that's not me. I'm not that. I need to go out there and fight and work to go to the next level. And I'm willing to do remote viewing. I'm working with somebody who's teaching me more about my sixth sense, for goodness sake, So mind speaking with animals and stuff like that. So I'm very convinced that stuff is authentic. Anna Brockenberg taught me that, and I've had some stuff happen. So yeah, so I'm really I'm cutting edge, no doubt about it. I'm cutting edge. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, not just go out and bleed and fight and starve and go through the survival crap. And you know, I don't. That's not efficient, and it's not very effective, and it's hard. And I want to live a long, healthy life. So you should take all of your footage and future footage and go to the TV network for an ongoing series. I know you're going to make another docu. Oh, dude, I would love that. Blue wrote this. I'm talking to networks all the time. It just they're so fake, and they want to do such a crappy show, and it's hard for me because I won't do a fake show. I was gonna do. There's a show called Man Tracker, and the original guy Terry retired, and they said like Todd Standing is an incredible tracker, and I could have done the show. I would have done an amazing job on that show, except the show is fake. It's totally fake. I'm not tracking anybody. It's Man Tracker is a camera crew follows around the prey that you're supposed to be tracking. Well, how the hell you have a sound guy and a camera guy? Of course you're gonna be able to just track the sound guy and the camera guy, so it's fake, right? And I won't do a show that's fake like that. I won't. I won't. I wouldn't do Finding Bigfoot. It's fake. They lie, they cheat, they're fake, and Bear Grylls is a fake. His show is fraudulent, and they call it like acting and entertainment and that stuff, but it's fake. So, you know, anyways, it's just I don't want to bash anybody, but and they have these people that are from California and these big production companies, and even in Toronto and Vancouver, they don't have they live on cement and in glass houses, and they have no idea what it really takes. You just talk to a simple hunter and say, "Hey, let's go out with four people and hunt a deer." He'll be like, "Ah, I'm not gonna get a deer with four people, right?" So especially we tell him, "Hey, four experienced hunters," you go, "Bah, no, we'll never get my deer. It's too much sound, too much smell, right?" And they want me to go out with a camera guy who has no experience, a sound guy who walks around with a mic and is thunderously, he's gonna come off like a freaking elephant out there and go film a Sasquatch. Like, no, it's sorry, it's never gonna happen. I worked with the brilliant, amazing, fantastic, unreal, amazing survivor, man, who's legit and totally real. I worked with that fantastic human being, and we didn't film a Sasquatch, and we believe me, that was like, man, I did recon for years in those areas, and even after, we worked so hard because he's such a great man, and I wanted him to have amazing success, and we did, but we got the top of the head of a Sasquatch that he filmed. But yeah, anyways, that's the way it is. My cousin is a firefighter in California, and he said he's seen Sasquatch many times while fighting fires in the mountain. And this is from Fuzzy Tiger Cat. Please, Fuzzy Tiger Cat. Yes, there's Amanda. We would like to hear about that at bigfootencounter@gmail.com. Please, please, please. That would be amazing. I'll, dude, I'll talk to you. Get through to Amanda. I'll speak to you about that. That's huge. I hear stuff about that. I hear quite a few things about that, especially the volcano, the eruption, the Mount St. Helens eruption. Man, that happened a long time ago, but there's some amazing stuff I've heard about that. Incredible, incredible encounters from Sasquatch in that. Do you think Sasquatch are small Sasquatch? Like what? Do you think they're small Sasquatch? Oh, Jay Eastman, there's something out there that might be little. It happened. I've had a couple things happen that were strange, but the real profound evidence was a day. There's a researcher I go out with in the Vancouver area, a wonderful man. He calls them the little people. The native people have told me about the little people. I'm sorry I'm doing this, but I'm just going to be honest. So I've never seen any signs or anything. I've never seen a little person or anything, but there was one trackway that I saw with John Bitternagel, and John wouldn't look at it. John looked at it, and it looked like baby feet, except we're in the hella backcountry, middle of nowhere, and I'm talking like a human baby foot is exactly what it looked like, except it was walking perfectly through, all sorts of terrain. It was running, jumping, leaving brilliant little foot. No baby could do that. No baby would be out there. So I've just heard things, and that trackway was, I filmed it, and I got to go through. I have hundreds of hours of footage, and I filmed it really well. And I remember John was so pissed off about it. He wouldn't even look at it. He's like, "We're not here. He's not doing," like, he was like, "That's it's like a unicorn. We're not doing that crap." But what's real is real. When you're out in the hella middle of nowhere backcountry, and there's these tracks, and what they were doing was very intelligent and amazing. And so, yeah, so I had that experience with that little person, and I had a, a guy I well respected, a native man who told me about little people too. So, but whatever, we'll see. I fully believe Sasquatch exists. This is from Herb Prophet. I've seen a large owl human-looking creature here in Arizona on the Hopi Indian Reserve. Yeah, and Hopi, aren't they the Oma? They call the Sasquatch Oma. Wolf packs know how to escalate big time. Yeah, they're the apex species. So especially wild wolves. Apparently, captive wolves are. I know a gentleman who runs a place where they, what's that called, like a refuge for wolves, and he was a wolf sanctuary, and he thinks they're all timid and afraid. And I'm like, dude, they're the apex. I've seen packs come, and they're when the wolf pack comes, boy, they have no fear of a bear. I've seen wolves come to a monster grizzly bear, and they're running to be the first one to bite him. Like they just like, let's go get him, and they just come ferociously. The stuff I've seen wolves do. Even I saw two wolves whoop a grizzly bear's ass, and actually not figuratively. They were actually tearing his ass apart. Like he was spitting. Just two wolves. They were big wolves, and one of them was an alpha. He's a big wolf, and but they were like face on with him. They just had no fear. That was just I admire. I was watching that, like my eyes were like, whoa, that is and that bear was pissed. Grizzly bears are monsters. They're fast. They're agile. They move so quickly. Like they're monsters. And for two wolves to be whooping its ass like that, he was like fighting them and chasing them, and he was mad. He was tearing the ground up, and they would have killed him. He actually had to leave. He was bleeding. His whole rump end was ripped apart. Eventually, they'd have hit an artery, and they'd have killed him. No doubt about it. This is two wolves, a total combined weight of, let's say they were 120 each, which is pretty big for a wolf. So let's say they're 240 pounds of wolf taking on 700 pounds of grizzly bear. And that grizzly bear, like, and they have claws, which I find is enormously advantageous to be able to claw and rip so efficiently with those big, huge claws they have. They're just like, they rip trees with their claws. And those wolves were killing him. He ran away. And yeah, it was so wolves are amazing. People don't give them the credit, man. They're amazing. And the endurance they have, I really admire them. One of my favorite species. Well, good. Finally starting working. He was freaking out for a second. Hey, that's from Fairy Bloods. Hey, John. They own the wilderness. I agree. Yeah, they're like such an apex species, like wolves, and then if it's like mountain lions, bears, wolves, and then Sasquatch is like right off the chart for apex. How well above them. They're just such an apex species. I don't think uh, I don't think they will lose offspring to predation. That's how apex they are. Like a bear cub will get killed by a mountain lion or a wolf, and wolf cubs will get killed by a mountain lion. You just those top predators can harm each other. A lone wolf might fight or get killed by a mountain lion or a bear, right? That might happen. And in fact, I'm sure it would. But Sasquatch teach wolves to fear Sasquatch. Like if I think wolves go and they smell Sasquatch and they run. Actually, I don't think I've seen it. I've never seen. I saw a pack of wolves once run from a Sasquatch. They were literally shitting themselves. Like they were terrified. They couldn't have got. They were ready to jump off cliffs, and wolves don't do that. A whole pack running in terror from a Sasquatch. And I think the Sasquatch was like it was a 15-inch track that chased them. So maybe let's say you know, a 13 to 15-year-old Sasquatch took on a pack of wolves. They didn't even fight him though. They just ran in terror, you know. And the Sasquatch coyote thing, it wasn't a fight that I saw. It was maybe off, let's say, 700 yards away from me. We heard the coyotes squealing, and we just watched. I mean, I could. It was getting a little dark, and it happened so fast. I did have a camera, but and I do have the audio of it, but it just sounds like a coyote making weird sounds, and it was no fight. It was the coyote was running for its life, like running, and you could see the shadowy Sasquatch figure following it, and I was stunned. There are times where I just say, the camera can kiss my ass. I realized by the time I reach for my camera, hit record, this is going to be over. And even to be honest, in my mind, I wasn't able to. I was like, "What is happening?" Like you see the figures and you go, "What is going on?" In your mind, you got to understand people. Your mind is like, "What is going on?" That's a coyote, and what's chasing it? Like, what is it? And you never. There are hundreds of thousands. There's thousands of things that happen that have nothing to do with Sasquatch. The vast majority of things I see in the wilderness have nothing to do with Sasquatch, right? An owl will take a marmot, a hawk will fight an owl, a wolverine will take on a badger. Like there's just thousands and thousands of things that I see. So, it's usually not Sasquatch. So when this happens, it's, just anyway, that's what it was. At the time too, this happened a long time ago. I had crappy equipment back in those days. I wasn't funded. I was just like a weekend warrior kind of thing. And yeah, so Roy Clark, cynics like that, idiots who asked Buzz Aldrin how to fake going to the moon. Yeah, they wouldn't last 2 seconds with what. And you're right. You're right. Even don't take my word for it. Come out with me, and I'll show you a Sasquatch. And most of these people are such freaking cowards, and I've really noticed that, especially with the media. Boy, they're chicken. They're such cowards. I worked so hard. It was 2 years ago. I was in the news a lot. Or no, was it just this year? No, it was last year. It was 2018 when I was in the news like crazy over the Sasquatch court case. And every media, like dozens of people from all over North America, did stories on me. And I called them all and I said, "Hey, you want to come see a Sasquatch? I'll take you out for free." I had an expedition with two people. Those two people were agreeable to have a reporter. They wanted the reporter. They're really good. They were return expeditioners, awesome guys. Both of them have seen a Sasquatch with me. And they were like, "Yeah, bring the media guy." So their expedition was paid for by them and was going to have a reporter come for free. I emailed, and I have the evidence of this. I mean, it's a little glitch there. But like I was saying, I sent emails out and phoned dozens and dozens of people from media, and they all chickened out, every single one of them. It was there's a network in Canada called APTN, the Aboriginals Peoples Network, and they almost came, like it was so close, but in the end they chickened out. I'm just going to show you a Sasquatch, no big deal. Can you imagine that? We live in a day and age where CNN, BBC, CBS, Fox, the list goes on and on, all these people absolutely refused to come out on expedition with me. Like, what the hell? It's pathetic. Isn't that pathetic? It's hard for me to even believe, but yeah, they wouldn't come out and see it. I was just going to show them a Sasquatch. No big deal. Hey, there's Sean of the 80s. I follow you on Instagram. Very much looking forward to the next documentary. Any idea when it's coming? Yeah, it's going to be California Bigfoot, and I'm doing it all myself. I'm doing it totally alone. And yeah, hey DLM, thanks for the donation. That's awesome. The best way to make a donation is to go to what is that, Patreon, or go to my, and people that make donations to me get lots of stuff, lots and lots of stuff. I don't even talk about all the stuff that I have, and there's more stuff coming. So I'm gonna start doing a lot more too, because the fans are so important. Basically, what just happened is I just busted my ass fighting tooth and nail, giving it everything I got, 100%, to getting some footage this year, having a really good year, and now it's done. It's the year's over. I'm not doing expeditions anymore, probably, but my focus is talking to people and getting organized and getting information out to people, and yeah, so talking and doing video. I just had a friend tell me over here, just come into the house and say we have a snowstorm going on right now, and our internet out in the town that I live in is through satellite, so the storm is affecting my internet today. So it might actually be a reason, although I don't buy it. Anyways, just do a few more questions because I got tons of phone calls to make to a bunch of people that have footage and stuff that I'm talking to. Anyways, Mason, White, Sylvanic, and S. It's kind of hard to take a photo of Sasquatch. Yeah, and I don't do really anymore, especially I don't. I just do videos. So I still can't get an answer for the name of baby Bigfoot. Is it Littlefoot? Or are you talking about the little people? I don't even know what they call them. I'll give you this. Oh, what are they called? Oof. There's a name for them in Mexico, but they're not Bigfoot. They're supposed to be green, and they're called the Alush. But I've never heard a name for the little people. He just called them little people. You ever heard of sightings in northwestern Ohio? Nothing, Jake. Nothing I could find that was really legit. So, used to draw Sasquatch when I was a kid. Okay, just do a few more questions, guys. I love this show. I'm gonna work so hard to get better. Actually, next week is gonna be really good. Hey, Phil. There you go. There's Phil. Side guy. People are here to support Todd Standing, gain knowledge, and listen to him, not debunk or oh, you know what, Phil? Though I don't mind people asking hard questions and stuff, if as long as it's not stupid. Like, don't I don't know. No, try not to be a hater. If you have skeptical questions, I like those questions. So let's not be too hard on people here. I don't know why this is Roy Clark. Hopefully everything you can still hear me. That one that threw the log at you, was that as tall as the pine tree in your videos? The one that threw the log at me, I didn't. I never saw that Sasquatch. I just got disorientated. I turned the camera in that direction and I never saw that Sasquatch. So I too long to turn, like, watch. So he threw the log. Let's say he threw the log from 20 meters away. He tosses that log and moves off. So I don't even see the log coming. The log goes past me, and I hear it come past me. I have my finger on the record button. I hit record, and then you see the log rolling down the hill. I see the log rolling down the hill for about 3 seconds, and when I turn, the Sasquatch is gone, man. He's gone. He's 100 meters in. That's a good, let's say, 7 seconds. He's 100 meters gone. If he started to run, 30 meters if he walked, and 30 meters is gone. Like he's gone from the first layer of trees to 4 layers of trees back in 7 seconds if he's just walking. 7 layers of trees, I can't see him anymore. And and which way did he go? Where did he move? I don't know. And so that's the reality of doing this stuff. So through modern collaboration, Sasquatch and humans taking or wild humans, possible crossbreeding, natives, First Nations tales. Say it happens. Your thoughts? Uh, Oof, yeah, I don't know, but I don't want to talk about the DNA shows that Sasquatch have bred with native women. I'm sorry, that's what the DNA shows. I have a geneticist that showed me that in the actual DNA, and so that possible crossbreeding, yeah, with First Nations. That's in fact, as much as I really hate to say it, yes, it's in the DNA. I don't know about the DNA. I'm not an expert, but it took out an MD, a medical doctor who did his master's in genetics, and came out here with a phone book worth of the genetics that the Melba Ketchum study did. And it's not Melba Ketchum. I don't like her getting all the credit for it because it's the people that got the DNA. She just tested it. She was even paid to do that. It was Adrian Erickson that made all that happen. And all the people, all the boots on the ground dudes, the warriors that are out there gathering that DNA, they deserve all the credit. All she did was do some tests in a freaking laboratory and didn't don't talk about all the people who made it happen. And you know how hard it is to get Sasquatch DNA, and they got it. And Adrian Erickson put it all together and paid for it. That's the Adrian Erickson test. And so I had a geneticist come on an expedition with me, a medical doctor who's knows a lot about genetics, and he ended up being the other two expeditioners quit halfway through, and he stayed, and we spent nights just going through it all, and he's showing me it, and it was a little bit above my head. It was a good lesson, but yeah. So Phil's saying the chat room's open after. I do not have a computer to do the chat room here today. All new footage will be in Discovering Bigfoot. Yes, there will be new footage, not all new footage. I still want to talk about I talk about the old stuff that helped me get the new stuff. That makes sense. I did this day and learned this lesson that allowed me to get this footage. So if that makes sense. Questions get removed. Yeah, go easy. My mediators don't go too hard on the people that have hard questions. So I don't even mind if people have like an angry thing, as long as it's a relevant question. If you just have a comment, if you're just gonna say things, it's pointless, especially if you're angry about it. You can ask me an angry question. I'd be very happy to answer it, because you know it's kind of hard to, I don't know, it's hard to believe that the most man-like primates right here, right up on the hills, right. I'm probably 20 miles from a group of Sasquatch right now as we speak. You know, how is that? That's hard to believe. So some people are going to be upset, and but often they have good things to say and good questions. Even the ones I can't answer, I need to go get those answers because it's good science and it's part of the discovery. Steve, I watched and learned as I was going on. I camped and hiked my whole life and I never had an encounter. But if you keep an open mind about them, yeah. So that's good to say, Dale. Thank you. So thanks for keeping an open mind. Off the subject question, Todd, are you by any chance a Ted Nugent? I know about Ted Nugent. I think there's a couple songs of his I like. So the next one's going to be called California. Yeah, that's right, California Bigfoot. I shouldn't even be. I'm not supposed to be telling you guys this, but you guys that are out here, and you guys are out here doing these live shows with me. I'm so grateful that you guys are out here. I truly am, sincerely, very, very grateful. Thanks for the donations, guys. I see there's a couple more donations here. Um, Zeta Talk website and Bigfoot, they do exist, and the Zeta Talk website, you will learn the truth about them. Here's a teaser. Cool. Thank you for the thing. DNA bred with humans. I know, Mr. Skeptical. I'm sorry. I don't like talking about that stuff, but I'm sorry. I really just, it was Adrian Erickson, actually. Speaking of Adrian, he was the one that was bringing that up with me, and it really, Mr. Skeptical, it ticked me off too. I was like, that's gross. Oh, come on, disgusting. But you start getting to the reality of it, and I don't know. You know what? I can't attest to this stuff. This is not me attesting to those things. So, um, anyways, guys, I gotta go. Thank you so much for tuning in today. People are asking Thunker's video. Thinker Thunker bothered me. I talked about him before because he didn't ask for my permission. He stole my video evidence, and his accounting is quite poor. If he would have talked to me, he would have done a much better show because I had to explain some truths to him. So Mason, I've noticed many areas where around Sasquatch are. The coyotes lead the area. There you go. SoCal Forest Ninja, my boots on the ground friend. So thank you so much for tuning in this week, guys. Oh my God, all these questions I could have gone through, but my phone is getting real glitchy right now. So, and 198%. I'll be back next week with some better internet, and we'll do a nice long. The chat room's going good. There'll be a chat room on discoveringbigfoot.org. You can see Phil Guy. He's one of my mediators and a colleague of mine. So he's organizing that. And thanks so much for tuning in, guys. What a fun show it was. As always, I just adore doing these shows. You guys are amazing, and we'll see you next week. And there'll be a Saturday video. For goodness sake, I'm gonna boot my own ass right now to get that as a good Saturday video, really good Saturday video. And I really should be able to do them on a regular basis. Now I miss those Saturday videos so much. And there's a really good one. I want to put the photographs up. They're really good, and the what happened was really cool. So stay tuned for the Saturday video, and yeah, have a great enjoy the rest of the week, guys. Bye.